All right, hey guys, welcome to this next assignment. So today we're going to talk about clustering. Before we talk about that, I want to ask you, have you ever felt that you were disorganized? Have you ever felt that there were just too many things scattered around, say while you were reading something, preparing to write something, or as you were writing, there were just so many scattered ideas and you didn't really know how to bring them all together. So if you ever found yourself stuck with so many different scattered ideas and not really sure, how to connect them, or you read something but you weren't really sure what was more important than the other, I'm going to teach you a technique that you can use to actually organize your ideas, organize your thoughts while you read, after you read, or while you prepare for writing a paper, or after you write a paper. Just all together, just learn how to organize and map out ideas. So that's what it is. What is it? It's mapping out big ideas. That's what clustering is, and that's what you're going to practice today. Mapping out big ideas. So I want to ask you, when should you map out ideas? So before you do the activity, from your perspective, when do you think you should actually map out ideas? Go ahead and do that now. All right, good. So one is when you prepare for a presentation, and we're talking right now for the most part in school or at work. When you prepare for a presentation, you need to map out big ideas. You need to have the big ideas mapped out so you know what you're going to actually say, how you're going to present, and the order you're going to present, and the big things that you're going to touch on. Because if you're doing a presentation, you can't touch on every single aspect. You got to learn how to organize and create a hierarchy of what's more important and what's less important so that you don't confuse the audience. Also, before writing a research paper is a perfect time to map out ideas, because if you're going to start writing a paper, then you can't just start writing because it's going to be like you're writing a journal if you just start writing. You actually have to map out the paper so that you know what you want to communicate, you know what you want to say, and how you're going to organize it. Thirdly, you do this during and after reading an important piece of text. So if you're reading something, that's really important to you for whatever reason, for school or outside of school, during reading and after reading, it's a great time to sit and map out ideas. Now, there's also times where you're going to map out ideas in your own life, and we'll get to that at the end of this video. So why should you cluster? So one of the big reasons is to organize ideas and thoughts, and I'm going to show you this process in a second. But why should you do this is because the most important reason is because you need to organize your ideas and thoughts instead of being scattered. And finally, to understand more. If you're reading or writing something, or if you're reading or you're preparing to write something, and you have all these ideas, when you learn how to organize them and to map them out, you're actually going to understand more from what you're reading, and you're going to be able to communicate more if you're writing, communicate better if you're writing or preparing a presentation. All right, so let's get into this. So I want to model this for you before I set you off to do this, and focus, because this activity might seem easy, but it's not super easy. All right, so just focus with me on this to figure out how to do this. So we're going to talk about clustering. So this is how it goes. Watch closely, because you're going to map this out exactly as you see it here on the screen. So we're going to take one big topic, and that topic is up to you. So you might choose whatever you want. I'm going to choose for this example iPhone. So if you want to choose Android, you want to choose Michael Jordan sneakers, you want to choose dresses. I mean, I don't know. It's up to you what you're interested in. Finances, money, savings. Choose a big topic that you're interested in, most likely, okay? Then, when you choose that topic, you're going to map out 4 big ideas that are related to that topic. So you should know something about the topic so that you can point out the 4 big ideas. So for example, with iPhone, what are the big things that I want to talk about connected with iPhone, or that I'm going to research connected with the iPhone? Say I'm writing a paper about the iPhone. How do I, what should I touch on, right? The iPhone is huge. So I'm going to show you. So here's an example. So first, sales of the iPhone. And that was what came to my mind. I mean, you might come up with other things, but here are 4 ideas. So sales. Second one, technology. The design of the iPhone, right? And the users of the iPhone. So for 4 big ideas, or 4, these categories related to the iPhone, I want to talk about the sales of the iPhone, the technology that's in the iPhone, and the design of the iPhone, and the users, the users of the iPhone. So I could actually write a paper on this because now I just mapped out the 4 big components that I want to talk about. So I could write a nice paper about the iPhone and talk about all these 4 components. And now I know already what I'm going to talk about. All I have to do is do the research into each big idea and get all the details I want to talk about. So in a sense, we just mapped out everything. Now, when you do that, that's the easy part, or it might take some time for you to think about it. Now, the next thing is you're going to dig into each big idea and extract the details, statements, and all the details, excuse me, related to that idea. So for example, when it comes to sales, so say I'm going to do some searching. So I got my categories. So now what you're going to do is go on the web, go to Google, and start digging in one idea at a time. Start with sales, then design, but you're going to choose your own model, of course, your own topic. And also the big ideas will be different. They'll be all up to you. But in this example, I would go into iPhone sales. So I would start searching, all right, iPhone sales. And I would start, coming up, just looking through the articles, reading some articles, digging in, reading different articles about the sales, getting some ideas. So what I want to do is extract different details related to the iPhone sales that I can put down on my map, on my cluster. So one of the things, I did this already. One of the things that I was reading, say Apple's iPhone is still defying a long-held rule of the cell phone business. Locals must come down. The defiance of that rule was never more clear than on Monday when Apple reported sales of 51 million iPhones during the last quarter. The most of it has sold in any quarter, up from 47.8 million in the same period. The strong sales helped Apple turn in a profit of 13.1 billion on revenue and 57.6 billion. This right here is a detail that I could extract and put right into my cluster that's related to the iPhone sales. So I could actually put that right in here. So I'm going to do that. Apple made 56 billion and made 13 billion in profit 2014. All right, incredible detail, huge. That's only one. Now I have to come up with 5. I want you to come up with 5 for each big idea. Okay? Now, the thing here is that you might not find that all in one article. I want you to look through different articles to come up with the details for all the big ideas. Don't just use one article, okay? Look through and find, because you're not going to find everything. Like I won't find all the information about iPhone sales in one article. I want to find different information about sales in there. So I want you to be as diverse as you can with the articles. Okay, so this is a model of what you're going to do. When you do this, I want you to come back because there's one more aspect, there's one more prompt that I want you to also do. So this is going to take the bulk of your time. How do you do this and where do you do this? You could do this right in Google Documents also. I'll demonstrate that for you real quick. So let's say I'm going to make a new, I could do a new drawing or a presentation. Or you could just do a drawing actually, and then basically all you'll have to do is just, if you're good with technology, you can do this on your own, but simply the only things you really need here are this thing right here called a shape, and then the text box. That's all you need. Shape. I'm just going to take the shape, I'm going to take a circle, and I'm going to put a circle right here, and then I'm just going to take the text box, and I'm going to drag and put it right here, and I'm going to write down iPhone. That's for my example. I could drag this and move it. And then you're just going to do the same thing for all of them. All right? All the 4 that you saw, like you saw it right here. And then when you want to come to write the information, you're going to take the text box, put it right along here, right next to the box, and start typing, all the information. And then all you have to do is just click File, and download as, a PDF document, or a JPEG, whatever you like. Make sure you put your name, of course, like maybe put it right at the top left there. And then you're going to post it in the forum, in the discussion forum on Blackboard. So that's the technology of it and how you do it. If you go to technology, go ahead and do it. So go ahead and start modeling this. Create your cluster of your topic. I want this to be great. Okay, do a great job with this. And I look forward to seeing your work. When you're done with this, come back because I want to show you one more thing. All right, good. Now I want to ask you this one question, this last question. How can you use this in your own life right now? So we talked about how we can use this in, school and work and presentations and papers, but how do you think you can actually use this idea of mapping out big ideas and kind of categorizing things in your own life right now? Give me about 3 things that you can use it for. Okay? Go. All right, good. That's the conclusion of this activity, and I'll see you in the next video.